Hello everyone. In today's video we will be discussing about TCA cycle or the tricarboxylic acid cycle. It is a very important question both for MBBS student and MD biochemistry students. Question can be asked as short note, long question, very important for Viva, and also MCQ can be asked from the topic. So let's start the cycle. Glucose, which is a 6 carbon compound, it undergoes glycolysis to form 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. Each molecule of pyruvic acid contains 3 carbon. Now this pyruvic acid undergoes decarboxylation to form 2 molecules of acetyl CoA. Each molecule of acetyl CoA contains 2 carbon. Now this acetyl CoA, it enters the TCA cycle. I was asked a question in my MD biochemistry Viva examination that which is the central molecule in the metabolism of carbohydrate, proteins and fat. So the answer is acetyl CoA, because all the carbohydrate, proteins and fat, they finally metabolize to form the acetyl CoA, which enters the TCA cycle to generate the reducing equivalents, which enters the electron transport chain to form ATP. The TCA cycle is known by various names. It is also important part to know, also known as citric acid cycle because citrate is the first compound to be formed in the pathway. Also known as Krebs cycle in honor of the scientist who proposed the pathway, that is he was Sir Hans Adolf Krebs in 1937, and he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1953 in physiology and medicine for the particular cycle. Also known as TCA cycle, or the name tricarboxylic acid cycle is because of the presence of tricarboxylate, citrate and isocitrate in the cycle. Another important point to note here is that another pathway is there in biochemistry, that is Krebs-Henselt cycle, that is urea cycle. So if question is asked, write about Krebs cycle or write about Krebs-Henselt cycle, so both are two different cycles. Students usually confuse between these two in examination, so it is important to note this point here. Location, it is present in the mitochondrial matrix. All the enzymes of the TCA cycle are present in the mitochondrial matrix, either free or attached to the inner mitochondrial membrane, so that the reducing equivalents which are formed in the pathway, they can easily be assessed by the electron transport chain. Now coming to the pathway or cycle proper, acetyl CoA, it enters the TCA cycle. It combines with 4 carbon molecule oxaloacetate to form citrate, which is a 6 carbon compound. 2 carbon present in acetyl CoA, 4 carbon present in oxaloacetate to form citrate. This reaction is catalyzed by citrate synthase. This citrate is isomerized to form isocitrate, catalyzed by the enzyme aconitase, which is a Fe+2 containing enzyme. The conversion of citrate to isocitrate takes place in 2 steps. First step is dehydration, second step is rehydration. By dehydration, cis-aconitase is formed, and by rehydration, isocitrate is formed. Both these reactions are catalyzed by aconitase. In next step, isocitrate forms oxalosuccinate, catalyzed by enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. This compound or this intermediate formed is bound to the enzyme and not present in free form. This oxalosuccinate, it is converted to alpha ketoglutarate. First molecule of carbon dioxide is carbon is released in the form of carbon dioxide. So from 6 carbon, 5 carbon oxalo alpha ketoglutarate is formed. In conversion of isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate, one molecule or first molecule of reducing equivalent, that is NADH, is formed. Now this alpha ketoglutarate, it undergoes second decarboxylation to form succinyl CoA, which is a 4 carbon compound. The alpha catalyzed by the enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex. Then further no release of carbon dioxide takes place or release of carbon molecule takes place. So all the intermediates which are there are of 4 carbon only. Succinyl CoA to succinate. One molecule of GTP is formed in this particular step, catalyzed by the enzyme succinate thiokinase. From succinate to fumarate, succinate dehydrogenase is the enzyme. FADH2 is formed. From fumarate to malate, fumarase enzyme. from malate to again oxaloacetate is formed, catalyzed by the malate dehydrogenase enzyme, and one molecule of NADH is liberated. Few important point to note here in the pathway. Two molecules of carbon enter the pathway in the form of acetyl-CoA, and two molecules of carbon are liberated as carbon dioxide. So there is no net addition of carbon, or no net release of carbon molecule in the pathway. The oxaloacetate 4 carbon molecule which was combining with the acetyl-CoA is finally regenerated back. So it is said that it acts as a catalyst in the pathway because it is regenerated back after all this intermediate formation. Second important step is that as you can see here, from oxaloacetate plus acetyl-CoA forms citrate. This reaction, then oxalosuccinate to alpha ketoglutarate and alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA. These three are the irreversible step in the pathway, and rest all the reactions are reversible in nature. Next important point, the isocitrate to oxalosuccinate, first molecule of NADH is liberated. Alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA, second molecule of NADH is liberated, and from malate to oxaloacetate, third molecule of NADH is liberated. One molecule of FADH2 is formed from succinate to fumarate formation, and one molecule of GTP is liberated. So the formation of GTP here is known as substrate level phosphorylation, because the high energy thiokinase bond in the succinyl-CoA molecule, it is directly transferred to the GDP plus PI to form the GTP. This is called substrate level phosphorylation because here directly ATP or GTP it is formed without involvement of electron transport chain. Two other examples of substrate level phosphorylation are present in two steps of glycolysis. So this is a very important question for Viva point of view, that substrate level phosphorylation in TCA cycle. Okay, then alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, it requires various coenzymes, cofactors in it, that is TPP, thiamine pyrophosphate, lipoic acid, NAD, FAD, and coenzyme A. All these are needed for alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex. Now few vitamins are needed in the TCA cycle, like riboflavin in the form of FAD, that is flavin adenine dinucleotide. In this step, niacin NAD plus in the regeneration of NADH in the 3 steps, then thiamine in the form of thiamine pyrophosphate, then pantothenic acid in the form of coenzyme A. So these 4 enzymes, 4 B complex enzymes are needed for the TCA cycle. This can also be asked as MCQ or in Viva, that is vitamins involved in TCA cycle. Now coming to the various inhibitors of the TCA cycle. See, aconitase enzyme which converts citrate to isocitrate, this enzyme is inhibited by fluoroacetate. Then alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, this enzyme it is inhibited by arsenite. Then succinate dehydrogenase, it is inhibited by malonate. So these are the 3 inhibitors of the pathway. Then the type of inhibitor or inhibition here is non-competitive for fluoroacetate and arsenite, and competitive inhibitor for malonate. There is an important point to note here for fluoroacetate, that it acts as a suicide substrate. This fluoroacetate, it is found in some plants, and their consumption can be fatal to the grazing animals, and also some fluorinated compounds used as anti-cancer agents and pesticides are metabolized to the fluoroacetate. So this fluoroacetate as such, it is non-toxic, but it is activated to fluoroacetyl-CoA in our body, and it combines with oxaloacetate of the TCA cycle to form fluorocitrate. This compound is toxic in nature and it inhibits the enzyme aconitase. So it blocks the TCA cycle or TCA pathway. Then substrate level phosphorylation, we have discussed this. From succinyl CoA to formation of succinate, one molecule of GTP is formed. Sorry, it is GDP, not GDT. Now, link between TCA cycle and gluconeogenesis. How gluconeogenesis and TCA cycle are linked with one another. There are two isoenzymes for succinate thiokinase enzyme. This is the succinate thiokinase enzyme from succinyl CoA to succinate. So one is specific for GDP, that is in TCA cycle. One is specific for ADP. So the gluconeogenic tissues, that is liver and kidney, they contain both of these isoenzymes which are specific both for GDP and ADP. The GTP formed here is used for decarboxylation of oxaloacetate to phosphoenol pyruvate in the gluconeogenic pathway. So this from oxaloacetate to formation of phosphoenol pyruvate, this is an important step for gluconeogenesis. So it requires GTP. So the GTP which is formed in the TCA cycle can be used for gluconeogenesis, and hence the TCA cycle and gluconeogenesis are linked together. Also the oxaloacetate from the pathway can be diverted to the gluconeogenesis when needed. When TCA cycle will operate when there is sufficient glucose in our body, which will be converted into pyruvic acid and then to acetyl CoA, and it will enter the TCA cycle. If glucose is not there, then acetyl CoA will not form, so the oxaloacetate will not find acetyl CoA to bind to it, so it will be diverted. So it is understood that as there is no glucose in the body, so the body needs to synthesize glucose from non-glucogenic sources. So oxaloacetate will be diverted to form the glucose through gluconeogenesis. Now another question, whether the TCA cycle is aerobic or anaerobic. As we have seen, there is no involvement of oxygen in the pathway. We have already studied the TCA cycle, but the TCA cycle is aerobic in nature because the NAD plus FAD which are needed to produce the reducing equivalents in the various steps of the TCA cycle, they can be regenerated in the electron transport chain, and which is aerobic in nature. When we will study the electron transport chain, we will see that oxygen is required in the last step, and hence for the continuation of the TCA cycle, NAD plus FAD has to be regenerated back from the electron transport chain, and hence to continue the electron transport chain, oxygen is needed. So indirectly the TCA cycle is aerobic in nature, although there is no direct participation of oxygen molecule in the pathway. Contrary to this, glycolysis is both aerobic and anaerobic in nature. Now oxaloacetate, it works as a catalyst, we have already discussed. Coming to energetics of the TCA cycle, this is very important part, very frequently asked in the as short note or in MCQs or in Viva also. If long question is asked, all of these points has to be covered. Each turn of TCA cycle, it produces 3 NADH, 1 FADH2 and 1 GTP. 1 NADH equals to 2.5 ATP, 3 NADH 3 into 2.5 7.5 ATP, 1 FADH2 is equals to 1.5 ATP, so 1.5 ATP, 1 GTP is equals to 1 ATP, so 1 ATP, total 10 ATP are produced from each turn of the TCA cycle, and for each turn of the TCA cycle 1 acetyl CoA is formed, but for one molecule of glucose 2 acetyl CoA are formed. So for one glucose molecule from TCA cycle only 20 ATP molecules are liberated. Question are usually asked in energetics for all the part, that is from glycolysis, conversion of pyruvate to acetyl CoA, then from TCA cycle, then from this electron transport chain, questions are asked like this. Another very important part is regulation of TCA cycle. 3 enzymes are regulatory in the TCA cycle. We have seen 3 irreversible steps in the cycle. So these 3 are the regulatory steps also. That is citrate synthase, isocitrate dehydrogenase, alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. These are the irreversible step and also the regulatory step of the pathway. Another point I want to share with this cycle is to remember the this enzymes. All the enzymes we can see are related to the substrate. That is, citrate is formed, so citrate synthase. This is only different name as compared to the various substrate involved here. Aconitase, then isocitrate to isocitrate dehydrogenase. First step is citrate synthase, aconitase, isocitrate dehydrogenase, isocitrate dehydrogenase. So 5 enzymes are covered, 2 are repeated twice. Then from alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, succinate thiokinase, succinate dehydrogenase, fumarase, malate dehydrogenase. In all the dehydrogenase, where the enzyme is dehydrogenase, 1 molecule of NADH or 1 molecule of FADH2 are liberated. So these 3 are the regulatory enzymes: citrate synthase, isocitrate dehydrogenase, alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex. This step, the citrate synthase, it is activated by ADP. More ADP in the system means there is less of ATP, so it will stimulate the pathway to undergo its process to liberate NADH, to release more reducing equivalents, to liberate more ATP. So it is obvious or understood that presence of ADP, it means there is less ATP in the system. So ATP, NADH, succinyl CoA, fatty acyl CoA, all these will inhibit the pathway, because if the system contains high ATP, NADH, it means the pathway is operating in full form. So high energy and high NADH are there. Also succinyl CoA is also inhibitor of the pathway, and fatty acyl CoA is also inhibitor of the pathway. In the next step of isocitrate dehydrogenase, same ADP is the activator and NADH, ATP are the inhibitor of the pathway. These two represent high energy state or excess of or the sufficient quantity of energy in the system, and presence of ADP, it indicates less ATP in the system, so they will stimulate and these two will inhibit the pathway. Alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, it is inhibited by ATP, NADH, GTP and also succinyl CoA. Succinyl CoA will inhibit both this, not the middle one. First and third step will be inhibited by succinyl CoA. Now, very important part, amphibolic nature of the pathway. Amphibolic means TCA cycle is both catabolic and anabolic in nature. Catabolic means breakdown and anabolic means formation. So that is why it is known as amphibolic pathway. How it is catabolic? We have already seen, because one molecule of acetyl CoA, it is broken down into 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. This is catabolic. And it is anabolic in nature because various intermediates of the pathway, they help in the synthesis of other compounds needed by the body. So that is why, as it helps in synthesis of other compounds in the body, various intermediates which are present in the pathway, so this cycle is anabolic in nature. Suppose from succinyl CoA, heme and porphyrin are synthesized. Very important, very important. From alpha ketoglutarate undergoes transamination to form glutamate, which forms non-essential amino acids and purines in our body. From oxaloacetate, this also undergoes transamination to form aspartate, synthesis of purine, pyrimidine and non-essential amino acids. From malate to malic enzyme, pyruvate is formed. Okay, so synthesis, transamination reaction of oxaloacetate and alpha ketoglutarate to form aspartate and glutamate respectively to form various non-essential amino acid. succinyl CoA to heme and porphyrin synthesis, very important. So as these intermediates of the pathway are involved in some anabolic process in the body, so this pathway is also anabolic in nature, so that is why it is known as amphibolic. Now what is anaploretic reaction? This is also very important point. Actually the whole TCA cycle is very important. Anaploretic means, suppose succinyl CoA is released or it is diverted from the cycle to form heme and porphyrin synthesis if heme is not present in sufficient quantity in the body. So succinyl CoA will be diverted here. So what will happen? The TCA cycle will cease to operate as there is less quantity of succinyl CoA. Or suppose alpha ketoglutarate is diverted more towards transamination or oxaloacetate. So it will inhibit the TCA cycle proper. So what happens? There are few other pathways in the body which help to replenish the various intermediates which are involved in other anabolic process in other part of the body. So these reactions are known as anaploretic reactions. So as we know that alpha ketoglutarate undergoes transamination to form glutamate, but I have drawn it as a reversible reaction here. So what will happen if the excess of alpha ketoglutarate is alpha ketoglutarate will be diverted excess. At one point what will happen? The glutamate will be again converted to alpha ketoglutarate to maintain a balance. Similarly, aspartate can be undergo transamination to form again oxaloacetate. Okay, so these are the anaploretic reactions in the body. Means the reactions which help to replenish the intermediates of the TCA cycle. These are known as anaploretic reaction. Suppose pyruvate, it can by different enzyme it can form two different intermediates of the TCA cycle. If through pyruvate the carboxylase enzyme to form oxaloacetate, this is a 3-carbon compound, oxaloacetate is 4-carbon compound, so here enzyme is carboxylase, means addition of carbon dioxide. From pyruvate the enzyme is malic enzyme, it will form malate. Questions are asked also the fate of pyruvate in the body. There are the pyruvate, one molecule of pyruvate, it can undergo different reactions in presence of different enzymes to form different products. So this is also very important question for MD students also and MBBS student also. Similarly a question is there for fate of acetyl CoA in the body. Also succinyl CoA, it is formed from various amino acids like valine, isoleucine, methionine, threonine and propionyl, also from propionyl CoA. So by all these amino acids succinyl CoA is regenerated back. So these different pathways which regenerate back or replenish the succinyl CoA, alpha ketoglutarate or any other intermediate of the TCA cycle are known as anaploretic reaction. Thank you.